Certified Penetration Tester Professional, Module 5, Network Penetration Testing Methodology, Internal. In this lab, we're going to look at WMAP. WMAP is a tool used for application scanning from within the Metasploit console. So as we did with DB-InMap, as we do with other tools, we can actually run these different types of tools from within Metasploit. And one of the beauties of that is when we do that, we have the database for our target database already located within the database in Metasploit. So if we come here and we man WMAP, there's probably not a man page for it. And the reason there's not a man page for it is because it's embedded inside of Metasploit. So we want to do our service PostgreSQL start, set up our database. Remember, we've got to do authentication for that. There's our authentication. And now we want to do our sudo MSF console to start the Metasploit tool, the different process we do, right? Now again, we're using 5. 6 is out by the time you read this, but you're going to bring your own tools to the CPENT exam anyway. So as long as it meets your needs, it doesn't really matter what version you're actually using, right? And that's what we try to explain to people. So remember, if you're first time running it, you got to use MSFDB init, right? So now once it loads up, we're going to use the tool. All right. So the way we use the tool is we're going to do a load WMAP. And you see here, successfully loaded, right? So different things. Now, as with a lot of these tools, they don't keep them always up to date, yeah, but it's okay. So we can try some different types of things. So if we do a WMAP and underscore sites, yeah, and do a -a, now we're going to give it different websites. Now, remember, we always want you to go through the process and methodology to find your live targets. Remember, your scanning methodology, your first step is live systems. As I continue to say, and I say all the time, this is the same process it's been since the beginning. We have to have live systems to attack, right? So now we just put in one of the machines we want to add to the sites. So we'll use our .9 system, and you see there's site created, all right? So now what we want to do is we want to add it to our target list. So we're going to do WMAP underscore targets -t, and we're going to put in our IP address. And now we have a target. So now if we do WMAP underscore targets, if I can type here, -l, we see we have our target, right? And if we were using secure socket layer TLS, transport layer security, we would have that indicated as well. So it's just a nice little feature within Metasploit. Now, everybody has different views. Some people like it, some people don't. All we're trying to do is show you another method of enumerating information for a website, right? So that's kind of what we're doing with the tool, so different types of things we can do. So the way it's set up is you have a run option and you do a -h, and that's your help. As you see here, display the help, show all enabled modules, launch modules the name provides the regex for. So it's not a perfect tool by any means, but it does give you some good information. So it might be one you want to explore when you're building your arsenal, right? So when we do a run, a T, right? See how it says it's loading the modules, right? It'll take a few minutes, right? Different types of things. There's going to be many modules the thing loads, right? So as it's running, you can explore different things, work on your target database, stuff like that. And then we're just going to run it, right? So we wanted to show you because it has scanners. It's going to use HTTP. It's going to use all these other types of things. So it's just another mechanism we have available that we can use, right? So once we kick off the scan, it's going to take a while for it to complete because it's loading the module. So it's just those things we do with the tool. All right. We'll let it run. And you see here, look at all these modules. Backup, brute force directory, scanner. You get the idea. So it's got some good stuff in there. It's even got the WebDAV, Unicode, SOAP XML. So it's not too bad, right? Blind queries, directory traversal, stuff like that. So now what we do is we want to actually run this thing, right? So how do you run it? Well, as you can imagine, we use the same command, WMAP underscore run -e. And then you wait. And it takes a while. All right, so it says it does the open proxy, tells us we got an Apache 2.4.25, attempting to connect, Drupal, and you see it starting to run. You see the reds? Yeah. So that didn't work. And then the cross-site tracing, the greens are vulnerabilities. We got a cross-site tracing. We've got 403s, right? Those types of things. So we start looking at a WebDAV. There's a WebDAV response. So it gives us some additional information for our target database. And that's kind of why we wanted to show you the tool, right? There's a lot of different tools we get out there. This one's built into Metasploit, so it's just another tool for your arsenal, right? And it's a complement to what? What we find in our tool suite. So it just can help you look at different things. We looked at what web before, now this is WMAP. And we see it's updating different things. And like anything else, it's going to give us some good data, and it's going to give us some data that we probably not going to help us a whole lot. But it's a way to enumerate a website with a tool that's included inside of Metasploit, which is kind of good. And you see the extensions, the .old, all that type of stuff. You see it's trying to find different types of things. Why? Because it's enumeration, right? So it's trying to enumerate the file system. Remember we had the directory brute force tool, right? So all these are different types of things we want to do. So once it gets done here, we do wmap underscore vulns dash L, and it'll list the vulnerabilities that it's found. All right, so now it's done. Wmap underscore vulns dash L. And you just see there's the information. It's got a whole listing of things that you can start reviewing for your target database, right? Different information. Blank or default path set, so different information you can do, right? So it's in your target database now. So once you have it in your target database, you've got it in there for the entire time. And that's the goal. So what you would do here, you take a few minutes, review the findings, and then you do what? You'd update your target database. And with that, we've accomplished what we set out to do in this lab, and we'll conclude the lab here.